Hi everybody, welcome to Chapter 10 in Algebra 2. This chapter we're going to take a look at conic sections. 10.1 actually starts off pretty easy. We're going to take a look at the midpoint and the distance formula, which should be a review for everyone, so we should be able to get through this video pretty quick. Alright, starting off with the midpoint formula. If a line segment has endpoints at x1, y1, and x2, y2, then the midpoint, the point that's exactly in the center, has the coordinates x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y1 over 2. We're simply taking the average of the x's, average of the y's, and that represents your midpoint. So let's give one a try here. Graphing program draws a line segment on a computer screen so that its endpoints are 5, 2, and 7, 8. What are the coordinates of the midpoint? Well, the midpoint can be given by simply taking sum of the x's over 2 and sum of the y's over 2, which makes this midpoint 5 plus 7 or 12 over 2 or 6, and 2 plus 8 or 10 divided by 2 or 5. So the midpoint of this line segment happens at the point 6, 5. The distance formula, if we're given 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, then the distance between those 2 points is given by the formula square root of x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. This formula actually comes from Pythagorean theorem. If we take a look at our picture, here's x1, y1, here's x2, y2. If we draw a horizontal line out from that point and a vertical line down from this point, what I end up with is a right triangle. And this right triangle contains this third point, which is the point x2, comma, x1, comma. Now, Pythagorean theorem says let's take a squared plus b squared, and that has to equal c squared. Well, if we're looking for c is this d, the distance. So we're going to say c squared for this equals a squared is now simply the distance between these 2 points. Since y's are the same, it's the x that's changing. And what happens is I take this x coordinate minus this x coordinate, or x2 minus x1. That is now a squared plus Pythagorean theorem now says b squared. Well, b is the distance between the y values. This is the change in the y, so that value becomes y2 minus y1 squared. And here's Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared is c squared. Now, c squared is not important to me, but what is important to me is c, the distance between those two values. So the way we find c is simply take the square root of the entire thing, hence the distance formula. Alright, so let's give one a try here. A coordinate grid is placed over a scale drawing of Jenny's patio. A grill is located at the point 2, negative 3. Let's put the grill here about. So that's the grill 2, negative 3. Yes, that is a G. And the flower pot is located at negative 6, negative 1. So we'll put the flower pot right there about. Negative 6, negative 1. Picnic table is located at the midpoints of those two. So there's my picnic table. In coordinate units, about how far is the grill to the picnic table? So I am looking for this distance. Well, to find that distance, the first thing I need to find is where's the picnic table located at? Well, the picnic table can be found by finding the midpoint of the 2 points that I know. So that's going to be a negative 6 plus 2 over 2 for the x, and for the y will be a negative 1 plus a negative 3 over 2, which means our picnic table is at the points negative 4 over 2, negative 2, negative 4 over 2, negative 2. So the picnic table is located at the point negative 2, 2. Sorry, negative 2, negative 2. Once I know where the picnic table is located at, now I want to know the distance between those two values. So we follow the distance formula, which means we will take the square root of x2 minus x1 squared. I'm calling the picnic table point 2, so this would be my x2, and this would be the y2. And then that means this is your x1, y1. So negative 2 minus 2 squared plus y2 minus y1 minus a negative 3 makes this into a plus 3 squared, which means the distance is square root negative 2 minus 2 gives me a negative 4. Square it to get 16 plus a negative 2 plus 3 gives me 1. Square it to get 1. 16 plus 1 is 17. So the distance between the picnic table and the grill is square root of 17 units, which is about, if we type this into my calculator here, 4.123 units away. And that is the distance formula and midpoint formula. Short and sweet. So I have for you guys here a couple problems to try. Given two coordinates, so coordinates for 24, coordinates for 25, I want you to find both the midpoint and the distance between those values. And again, answers are down here in the yellow box. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow in class.